You'll come down and testify? Hey, I'll tell you what the budget here.
It's on? Okay. Morning and welcome everyone to the March 6, 2025 Subdivision and Utility Advisory Committee of Subdivision of the Planning Department. Could we have the opening announcement, please?
Before we begin the agenda, the Wichita-Sedgwick County Metropolitan Area Planning Commission would like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to this public hearing. Copies of the agenda for today's meeting, the public hearing procedure, and Planning Department staff reports on all agenda items are available on the counter in the lobby. The Planning Commission's bylaws limit the applicant of a subdivision application and his or her representatives to a total of 10 minutes of speaking time at the start of the hearing on that item, plus up to 2 minutes at the conclusion of that hearing. All other persons wishing to speak on agenda items are limited to 3 minutes per person. However, if they feel that it is needed and justified, the Commission may extend these times by a majority vote. All speakers are requested to state his or her name and address for the record when beginning to speak. When you are finished speaking, please share your name, address, and the case number on the sheet provided in the room. This will enable staff to notify you if there are any additional proceedings concerning that item. All speakers at the podium, please remove your face mask before speaking into the microphone.
Could we have the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Bill Johnson.
Present.
Tony Zimmelman.
Here.
Bob Duell.
Here.
Jocelyn Klontz. Here. Josh Blick is absent. Leon Mader. Here. John Williams-Bay. Here. Sir, I show 6 members are present and neither of the alternates are here.
Okay, thank you. Before we start on the agenda, there's a couple of changes that we need to go through. Item number 6, which is 2024-61, has been deferred now till March 20th meeting. And item number 10, Subdivision 2025-11, has been withdrawn. So our first case today will be vacation item 2025-2, requesting the city to vacate a platted 15-foot access maintenance easement and a platted 10-foot utility easement. Can we have the staff report, please?
Yes. Good morning, Subdivision Committee. Philip Zievenbergen with Planning Staff. Vacation 2502 is a request to vacate a 15-foot access maintenance easement and a 10-foot utility easement. The majority of the vacation is on Lot 2. of the Nance Second Edition. It also goes over and across the lot line for just a little bit into Lot 1 as well of the same Nance Second Edition. The purpose of the vacation, if you go to the aerial, please, is the first part. There's an existing building that you can see here that encroaches into the easement that is being platted, being vacated. That's the 10-foot utility easement. So it'd clean up that. It would take out the encroachment there and bring that building into compliance. The applicant is also looking to expand the warehouse self-storage use on this site and be able to utilize the area of the easements in order for the expansion. There are no public utilities in these easements. Public Works, Stormwater, and all the city staff member do not object to the vacation. Cox does not object to the vacation. They have no lines or equipment in the area. Evergy has no objection. The 15-foot access maintenance easement has no equipment. The 10-foot utility easement does have Evergy equipment on the on Lot 1, which is the area here. And on the south end of the easement, it serves the restaurant, and there is a new project Evergy is working with the applicant to install a spot pole for a 25 kVA transformer just south of the area of the site plan that shows the Far West building that's encroaching into the easement. That is this area right here. Evergy does not object. If the 10-foot easement is vacated, the new equipment would be on the applicant's private property and not used to serve any other lots. And if removal or relocation is requested at any time in the future, the cost would be at the applicant's expense. So Evergy does have equipment in there. However, they do not object to it. They just want the applicant to know that any future removal or relocation would be at their expense. And Evergy, of course, can elaborate on their comments as well. We've had no public comment against this, and I can stand for any questions.
Okay, any questions from the commissioners? Seeing none. Comments from the advisory board?
I think what we're trying to say, actually, it's kind of confusing, but they can vacate the 10-foot utility easement. They would have to relocate it if it's going to still serve the lot to the south, because we don't allow our equipment to be on another person's lot and serve another person, because we get a lot of requests for that to be moved. They don't like it on their lot, whatever. So I think that may be what needs to be done, but he would need to just reach out to Brandon, and Brandon would be able to talk to him about it. I'm sure they can work it out.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Thank you. Is the applicant or agent available? Come on up. You have 10 minutes. Please state your name and address, please.
Dan Heflin, 714 North Yale. I own No More Self-Storage at 24th and Market, and also the property considered right here. The pole that's going to go in is not going to be on the other property. It's going to be on the very small corner, right where the arrow is pointing up there. And Evergy's got the design done. In fact, I've talked to him this morning. We're trying to figure out what time that's going to be done. So it should be like days away. So it's going to be contained within my property. So, and I have no problem if they have a need in the future. And when we do the expansion, which might be a year to 2 years away, they will go through a review with that as well. So, unless somebody has any questions for me, that's all I have. Any concerns?
Have you read the staff report?
Yes, sir.
Are you in agreement with all the comments in the staff report?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Any other questions for the agent? Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone from the public would like to speak on this? Okay, seeing none, bring it back to the commission.
Move to approve for staff comments.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Williams Bay, a second by Commissioner Johnson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Our next case is vacation 2025-3. It's a request to vacate a platted utility easement and reduce a platted setback. Can we have the staff report, please?
Yes, sir. Again, Philip Zevenbergen for the record. Vacation 2503 is a request to vacate a 20-foot drainage and utility easement that runs north and south along Lot 4. This is the Lot 4 that we're speaking of. This is about a quarter mile west of North Ridge Road, and north of Village Circle is K96, so we're basically K96 and Ridge. The property is zoned limited commercial with a community unit plan DP 280. The applicant is intending to build warehouse self-storage, like storage condos, on this property. So they're looking to remove a utility easement, and then the easement and the setback actually kind of overlap. Mohammed, I think we have two exhibits in here. If we can go to the first one, please. That kind of break out so you can see the two different requests that are being under consideration today. So again, you have the easement that then goes along the line, the front line of it, and it ends over here. But then you also have the building setback that overlaps the easement at the same location along the north line of Lot 4. The request to vacate a portion of the building setback would be the south 15 feet of it, which would reduce the setback, to a 10-foot building setback along Village Circle. And again, that is in order to allow for space for the condo construction or the condo garage construction at this location. The request to allow the warehouse self-storage is being heard concurrently at Planning Commission next week. It's an amendment to the community unit plan in order to allow the use to adjust architectural controls, among other things, and they will be heard concurrently next week. You can see on the site plan they intend to enter in, and the reason they're looking to vacate items along the north line of Lot 4 is to allow for the buildings to be closer to the street, to allow for appropriate spacing between buildings in order to access the fronts. So this would be the rears of the building, and all of the bay doors would be internal to this site. Stormwater Management does not object to the vacation. Public Works and Utilities is requiring that the east 10 feet of the utility easement over here be retained for the existing sanitary sewer that's running north-south. Public Works also advises to show the film page 287-48005 on the face of the vacation exhibit. The easement vacation legal description will need to be revised in order for that east 10 feet to be retained. Comments from the franchise utilities, Cox and Evergy do not object to it. Cox has a temporary line that's underground serving a law company trailer. That line will be removed when the trailer is moved. Evergy has reviewed the vacation and does not object. They don't have any equipment in the area. There's been no public comment regarding this for the vacation, and I can stand for any questions.
Okay. Questions from the commissioners? Comments from the advisory board?
Rondi with Evergy, no additional comment.
Okay. Thank you. Is applicant or agent available? You'll have 10 minutes. Please state your name and address, please.
Brett Hastings, and I don't think there's an address on that property yet. It's just Village Circle.
Can you give us your home address?
Oh, yeah, 22010 West 22nd North Circle, Andale, Kansas.
Thank you.
So yes, we're wanting to see about allowing the movement, as he said, on that north end to allow for the buildings to set back a little closer to the street that is there, so that there's access to both sets of buildings that are intended to be built. And then we're also, there's a private utilities that runs through the middle of that lot, wanting to see if that can be abandoned, or, you know, there's nothing known to go through that area that they have marked on the plot. So wanting to see if that can be removed to where we can actually build our buildings over the top of that.
You know why utility companies involved there?
We checked Evergy, AT&T didn't come out.
We checked with Evergy, AT&T, all private companies. 811 DigSafe did come out and approve there was nothing running through there. There was just the easement there for the utilities, but there were no private utilities running through the property.
Mr. Chair, could we get his name and address for the record?
Yeah, Landon Hastings, 4903 West 26th Court North, Wichita.
Thank you. Does anybody on the advisory board know about this utility?
No, we didn't. I didn't know about that private easement. I know that our equipment is at the south end and it's on private property. That's how that was set up, and it serves just their lot. So as long as it's not in that easement they're talking about, I think we're fine. But if they talk to Brandon, is that who you talked to, Brandon Chad?
No, not him.
Okay, because he would be the rep. So if that's
Okay.
who you talk to, I mean, as long as you verify with Brandon that that's okay and check it, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
Can you hold on just a second if there's any questions for the agent? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on this? Okay, I guess my question is this unknown utility, how are we supposed to address this?
Well, for this one, in terms of the application, I believe it's that is not included. I think that was just supplemental information that they were bringing up.
Yeah, my understanding is that the application is for the platted utility easement and then the platted setback. So anything, and if it's a private utility to where the city is not party to it and it's not identified on the plat or anything, I think it seems like Evergy is willing to work with them if there's the equipment in there or not.
I'm going to want to verify with Brandon. We're going to want to look at it and we want to see it. I want to see the legal description of it if it's possible.
Yeah, but in terms of business today, it was not part of the application. So the only thing that you guys are considering is the platted utility easement and the platted setback reduction as discussed in the staff report. If it comes that that private easement does need the attention of this body, then it would have to be a separate application at a separate time.
Okay, bring it back to the commissioners.
Move to approve for staff comments.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Johnson, a second by Commissioner Klontz. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Next case will be vacation item 2025-4, request to vacate platted utility easement on property zoned SF5 single family. We have the staff report.
Yes, again, Philip Zievenbergen for the record. Vacation 2504 is a request to vacate 2 utility easements, or really 1 utility easement, a portion of another. The property is addressed as 115 North Angeles Street, zone SF5, and developed with a single-family home. If you want to go to the aerial, please. The one request is to vacate the platted 20-foot utility easement that runs near the north line of the property, and then to vacate the 5 feet of a platted 10-foot utility easement along the south property line of the applicant's property. The other 5 feet is on the property to the south. So it's a total of a 10-foot utility easement. Only half of that easement is on the applicant's property, and that's the only portion of the easement that's under consideration today. As you can see, the property is developed with a single-family home and an in-ground pool. You can see a portion of the pool structure actually encroaches into the 20-foot utility easement to the north. The aerial overlays might be a little off. I believe the house does not encroach into the utility easement to the south, but either way, if it is, they're requesting to vacate it, which would bring that into compliance. The purpose of the vacation is just to remove the encumbrances on the property. It does not appear that there's any utilities in these easements, and that would just free up buildable area on the site for the applicants. Wichita Public Works, Traffic Engineering, Fire do not object. There are no public utilities in these easements. I will note that between This 20-foot easement and their north property line is a portion of a pipeline easement. That easement is not part of this request and it is being retained. In addition, there is a utility easement along the west property line, and you can see that the vacation areas stop at that easement line, and no portion of the public utility easement along the west is part of this vacation either. So though we see a sewer line in there, no portion of that easement is under consideration either. Cox, Evergy, AT&T, and Kansas Gas have reviewed this, and they do not have any objection to it. Kansas Gas and AT&T have no equipment. Cox does not object. They didn't provide any specific information. I even followed up with them and didn't receive a response. They just said that they do not object, and any Cox lines would have, if relocation is required, would be at the applicant's expense. So I would encourage the applicant to follow up with the Cox regarding the specific location of any Cox equipment that may or may not be in these easements. Again, I did not get a follow-up response from Cox when I reached out about that. Evergy reviewed the application. They have a secondary pedestal, and it took a little bit of review, but they finally determined that the secondary pedestal that serves this applicant's house is not in either of these easements, so they do not object, and there is no need to retain any portion of the easements for their equipment. So Evergy is good with the vacation as well. We have not heard any public comment regarding this, and I can stand for any question.
All right, questions from the commissioners? Yes, Mr. Williams-Bay.
Philip, is part of the pool in the easement now? Is it built in the easement?
That's how it appears to be. The apron would be okay, but it does look like a portion of the structural wall of the pool does encroach into the easement. Not sure how that was allowed, but this would actually clean that up and bring the pool into compliance.
Is there also a pool house in there too? It looks like another structure.
It might just be like a gazebo. I can defer to the agent to see. Oh, you're talking about this over here, maybe a shed or something. I can defer to the agent on that, but that could possibly be one of the reasons they want to vacate it is there's no need for the easement, so that would bring their structures into compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Comments from the advisory board?
Rondi with Evergy, no additional comment.
Okay. Thank you. Is the applicant or agent present? You'll have 10 minutes. Please state your name and address.
Good morning. Brian Lindeback, MKEC Engineering, 411 North Webb Road, on behalf of the owner and applicants. Yes, everything is, we had a one call locate done on this property. I personally visited the site, took pictures, worked with Evergy to make sure that there aren't any utilities, nothing is within these easements as shown. From a current utility perspective. There are a couple structures. One structure, this isn't the best image. If you have the exhibit that I provided with the application, it's a better, more accurate exhibit. But there is a shed, there you go. There's a shed in this area that is in the pipeline easement. And then there's a structure here next to the pool. For what it's worth, this pipeline is an abandoned pipeline. I've worked diligently to find out who owns it. It's gone through like 8 different owners. It's currently owned by a group in Houston, Texas. We're working to get that released on this property as well, but that's anecdotal to this process here. But anyhow, it's good to know that there's no active pipeline in that easement. But yeah. One thing I would just state is on item 2, since we are in agreement with Evergy, I don't think it's necessary to have item 2 as a condition. If you look at item 2, it just says that that we're going to move the equipment at our expense. I think that to that extent, and same with 1. There's nothing in there, so I feel like it's a little bit redundant to say that our applicant has to move things and unnecessary. So since we have done the due diligence and verified everything, I don't think that's maybe necessary in this case. So with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Okay. Evergy, are you okay with that?
Good with that. Verified, our equipment is south of the fence, and it's, I believe, in that easement that runs north and south, and it's on the property to the south, I believe. Well, it's in between the two, but it's really south of that fence, so it's not in that easement at all.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the commissioners? Any other comments from the advisory board? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone from the public want to speak on this? Okay. Yes.
I don't disagree with Brian regarding number 2. If there's no Evergy equipment, I agree that number 2 could be removed from the list. Number 1 is this pretty standard condition that's on all easement staff reports. It doesn't lock them into anything. I think it's just kind of the standard language of saying, should a project move forward and some utility is found, even though it doesn't appear that there are any in there, it just kind of covers that of, we understand that you're releasing easements from your property. Shouldn't somehow a utility be found in there if there's any project, that it just kind of covers to say you were identified as saying you need to be responsible for relocating it. So it's not locking them to anything. It's not going to hold this case going up to city council. They don't have to provide us necessarily anything, but it is standard language that we put on all staff reports, even if we identify in the staff report that there are no utilities.
So are you recommending number 2 stay in it?
I think number 1 needs to stay. Number 1 is the standard language. Number 2, I think, can be taken out of the staff report, and I'll update it for MAPC.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve this per staff reports, but eliminating item number 2.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Zimbelman, a second by Commissioner Johnson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 6-0. Next case is vacation 2025-5. Request to vacate the west 10 feet of east 30-foot platted building setback. We'll have the staff report.
Yes, sir. And the final vacation today is 2505. This is a request to vacate a platted building setback located at 2635 South Padding. If you want to go to the application exhibit, this is an interesting situation. This whole block was originally platted into 12 separate lots, as you can see on the exhibit. The aerial shows that it was developed holistically as one property. It's a church and a school. Not long after it was platted, which was in 1952, Patty Court was vacated, and that allowed for the holistic development of the property. So even though Patty Court shows on the plat, it actually is not there, and you can see it was never constructed. And so essentially this acts as one big zoning lot, where platted lot lines essentially don't matter. It's one tax parcel, it's one single piece of property. The plat itself does not identify or draw the platted setback on there. A lot of times with older plats, you have to look into the platter's text. The platter's text does identify that front building setbacks would be 30 feet. When Patty Court was vacated and this essentially became one large piece of land, you could consider that essentially to be a through lot, and they determined at that time that essentially all 4 sides were considered front, or at least Laura and Patty. So there is a 30-foot platted setback there. It's very unique, very interesting. All that to say, this at least covers the basis to say we know that this setback was reduced and that the setback will now be 20 feet along this side if it is approved. The purpose of the vacation is to allow for a building expansion for the church and school building. The property is zoned SF5. The use is permitted within the zoning. There's been no public comment regarding this. Public Works Utilities, Traffic Engineering, and Wichita Fire do not object to it. Comments from franchise utilities were received. No franchise utilities have equipment in the area, and they do not object to the vacation either. With that, I can stand for any questions.
Okay. Questions from commissioners? Seeing none. Comments from the advisory board?
Rondi with Evergy, no additional comment.
Okay. Is the applicant agent available? Name and address and 10 minutes.
Jay Cook, Boffman Company, 315 South Ellis, agent on behalf of the applicant. We're requesting this reduction to have an addition on both sides of the sanctuary right here. We've just, in our drawings, found that we would be encroaching on that 30-foot. And as your staff report says, it is a funny plat, but standard zoning setback would be 25 feet. If we were doing a zoning this wasn't platted, we could have done this via adjustment, but we wanted to make sure we're doing it properly, and that's why we're asking for this reduction. And I'll stand for any questions.
Okay. Questions from the commissioners? Advisory board? Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that would you like to speak on this? Seeing none, bring it back to the commission.
Approval for staff comments.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Dool, a second by Commissioner Johnson. I'm sorry, Commissioner Williams Bay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 6-0. Agenda item number 6 has been deferred. So we will go into the subdivision. The first case is subdivision 2025-8, one-step final plat for the Knox Estates, which is in the county. We have the staff report, please.
Morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff. This is a one-step final plat for a 9-lot residential subdivision in the county. Next screen, please. Next screen. There are complete access controls along South 154th Street with 3 60-foot openings. Proposed lots 1 and 3 will be accessed via an access easement. Proposed lots 5, 6, and 9 will be accessed via an access easement. And in the staff report said lot 7 will be accessed with lots 5, 6, and 7, but it will actually be accessed with an easement for lots 7 and 8 with a requested access control along lot 7 to comply with the fire code of the maximum 3 lots for a drive. Go through waivers. There are no waivers requested with the applicant. Go through staff comments. Item A, MABCD, this is within Rural Water District number 4. If available and feasible, recommend connection. If not, memo would be needed. Item B, the drainage plan is approved. I received comment that they have approved the drainage plan. Item C, fire comments, all lots will need to comply with service drive code. Item D, County Public Works, access controls, right-of-way dedications approved. The request to complete access control along the south line of lot 7 to comply with the 3 lot for fire code. The request separate utility easements be separate from access easements, and request access controls along the railroad right-of-way. Planning staff comments, since this is a flag lot, is discouraged. Proposed lots 1 and 5 do not comply with the minimum 200-foot lot frontage. Setback should be platted where the minimum 200-foot can be established. Text addition to Knox Estates. Block number letter need to be indicated on face of plat, and minimum building pad elevations shall be on the face of plat. Item F, county surveying, just go through the plat, and addition needs to be changed to estates. Item G, Evergy is not, the plat is not served by Evergy and no transmission in the area. And item H, Sedgwick County Electric Co-op has reviewed the plat and has requested additional easements, and those have been forwarded to the applicant to be put on the final plat. So with that, I will stand for questions.
Right. Questions from the commission? Advisory board comments? I don't know if they're going to have a comment or not. All right. All right, is the applicant or agent available, please? Please state your name and address, and you'll have 10 minutes.
Good morning, Logan Mills with Certified Engineering Design, 1935 West Maple, agent for the applicant. We're in agreement with all staff comments, so I can answer any questions you may have.
Comments from the commission? Advisory board? Do you know if the water is available and you're going to use it?
Yeah, there's water on the west side of the road out front. It'll be there if the property owners want to use it. Yeah, with rural water number 4, Sedgwick rural water number 4.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone from the public would like to comment on this? Okay. Bring it back to the commission. What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve per staff comment.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Klontz, second by Commissioner Johnson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 6-0. Next case is subdivision 2025-9, one-step final plat for the Klossmeyer Acres addition. It's also in the county.
Good morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff. Next screen, please. Next screen. This is a one-step final plat for a 2-lot residential subdivision in the county. Next screen, please. There are access controls along South 179th Street West with 2 openings indicated. There is an access easement located along the south side of Lot 1 to provide access to Lot 2. Next screen, please. There are no waivers requested by the applicant. Go through staff comments. Item A, this is within Rural Water District number 4. Item B, received comment that drainage plan has been approved. Item C, County Fire Service Drive, code needs compliance. Item D, Public Works recommends utility easements separate from ingress-egress easement and change for names for signature block. Item E, Planning Department, some relabeling of street names and signature block names. And also show that the 30-foot ingress easement shown by plat shall be established with the access easement by separate instrument. Item F, county survey, no comments at this time. Item G, Evergy, plat is not served by Evergy and no transmission in the area. And item H, Sedgwick County Electric Co-op has reviewed the plat and is requesting additional easements, and those have been forwarded to the agent to be put on the final plat. So with that, I will stand for questions.
Okay, you have to, excuse me, I got distracted there. Did you talk about the drainage?
Yes, I got confirmation from County Stormwater Management that the drainage plan is approved.
Okay, thank you. Other questions from the commission? Comments from the advisory board?
No comments outside our territory.
Okay. Is the applicant or agent available? Please state your name and address, and you'll have 10 minutes.
Chad Abbott with Abbott Land Surveying, 631 North Kessler, Wichita, Kansas. And we are in agreement with staff comments. Stand for questions.
Okay. Comments from the commission? Advisory board? County?
Yep. Daniel Schramm with Sedgwick County Public Works. Hey, Chad, on your access controls, it's just left as 2 openings.
Yeah.
We like to have those in prescribed locations. Could we work together to make sure those are pinned down?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Other comments? Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone from the public who'd like to speak on this? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission.
Move to approve for staff comments. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Duell. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? 6-0 again. Our next case is subdivision 2025-10. It's one-step final plat for the Youngman Edition. It's in the county. Can we have a staff report, please?
Good morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff. Here to present the Young Men Edition. Next screen, please. This is a one-step final plat for one-lot residential subdivision in the county. Next screen, please. The access and dedication of right-of-way is along 127th Street East with one opening. There are no waivers requested by the applicant. Go through staff comments. Item A, MABCD, this is within Harvey County Rural Water District number 1. Item B, I did receive confirmation from Stormwater Management that the drainage plan has been approved. Item C, Standard County Fire comment regarding service drive code. Item D, Public Works requests access opening to be in a prescribed location and approve of right-of-way dedication. Item E, some standard text revisions and dedication of the street in the platter's text. Item F, county surveyor just needs Scott's last name changed. And item G, Evergy, this plat is not served by Evergy distribution and no transmission in the area. And with that, I will stand for questions. And I'm not quite for sure who serviced that, but I did not receive any comments from any other electric company, so.
Questions from the commissioners? Advisory staff? Nope.
Outside Evergy territory.
Okay. Applicant or agent available? 10 minutes. Please state your name and address.
Matthew Tucker with BHC, agent for the applicant, 165 South Rock Island, Wichita. We're in agreement with the staff comments and recommendations. I'll be getting with County Public Works on prescribing that access location. To staff comment A, just kind of something to note, although it's within the Harvey County Rural Water District 1, and it actually, Harvey's on our side of the road, just immediately opposite side of the road is Sedgwick 1, but neither have water lines within a mile of the site. I believe the intention here is that we are going to pursue well water, so we'll address documentation on that as needed. And then as far as the electric, if you go to, if you will go back one slide, please, to the topographical sketch. So you can see that the electric lines run within the existing right-of-way today overhead. I believe that's Sedgwick County Co-op Territory 2. And they are within the right-of-way. With the new dedication, they will be well within the right-of-way, over 20 feet from the property line. So we don't anticipate any needs for any easements or anything there.
Okay.
And I'll stand for any questions.
All right. Questions from the commissioners? Advisory board comments? None? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anyone from the public would like to speak on this? Okay. I'll bring it back to the commissioners.
Move to approve per staff comment.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Klontz, a second by Commissioner Williams-Bay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That's 6-0. Our next agenda item has been withdrawn, so we'll go to number 11. Subdivision 2025-12, one-step final plat for Makers Park Edition. It's in the county and it's also in the 3-mile ring. So we have a staff report.
Good morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff, present Makers Park Edition. Next screen, please. This is a one-step plat for a 15-lot industrial subdivision within the county, within 3 miles of the city. The property is also within the Air Force Base Protective Overlay District. This plat has been forwarded to McConnell Air Force Base for comment, and it's currently being reviewed. I did get an email back from them stating there was concern that since this is right up against the Air Force Base, that there could be some noise concerns, and this is right against their, I believe their explosion demonstration area or whatever they do. So I think they're concerned about the noise and how that might affect the businesses going into this location. But I will let the agent, because I think they had reached out to McConnell regarding that issue. So I will let them address that issue if they reached out to them. Next screen, please. This subdivision is a replat of Lot 1, Block 1 of Glenville East Edition. I believe that originally this Glenville East Edition was a residential subdivision, and I think that was some of the concerns that McConnell had about the noise from their Air Force Base affecting residential. But since this is industrial, that may not be a problem with the noise. So there are complete access controls along South Rock Road with a 70-foot opening with access to proposed lots via cul-de-sac street. Actually, sorry, the one on screen is 10 lot. It was originally submitted as 10 lot, and then they revised it to a 15 lot. So sorry, that didn't get into the PowerPoint presentation, but you should have received a revised copy showing 15 lots. So it is a 15 lot and not 10 lot as shown up on the screen here. Go through waivers. There are a couple of waivers that would be needed. One is for waiver from requirement of providing street stub. There is vacant unplatted property unplatted property exists to the north and south of this plat. No connection has been provided, so a waiver will be needed, and also waiver modification to allow street length of more than 1,200 feet and no emergency access easement for the proposed cul-de-sac. This modification waiver for waiver number 2 be granted with the approval of the fire department, which they have, and the comments have approved of the waiver. Go through staff comments. Item A, MABCD, the site is located within Sedgwick County Rural Water District number 3. Item B, Public Works and Utilities request 10-foot easement, requested no protest agreement. Sanitary sewer fees are due. It's in Rural Water District number 3. Platter's text shall reference utility drainage and utility easement. Item C, County Stormwater Management. I did get confirmation that the drainage plan has been approved. Item D, City Fire Department approves of waiver number 3, and also verification of proper hydrant locations. Item E, Sedgwick County Fire. Each lot will comply with Service Drive Code, and the roadway cul-de-sac need to comply with the 2024 International Fire Code. Item F, County Public Works approves of access controls along Rock, requests 75 feet of complete access control on the north and south side. On the eastern end of the unnamed street, requests 75 foot for cul-de-sac radius dimension, and a driveway closure certificate will be needed. Item G, GIS will need to approve of the street name. Item F, item H, planning departments. Most of these are just Platter's text revisions. that need to be included in the platter's text. Item A, county surveyor pipeline dimension, and item J, Evergy has reviewed the plat and no additional easements needed. Evergy will need to require the portion of the easement we are to install and to be flat and out of the natural flow of water. And so with that, I stand for questions.
Okay. Commissioner Deuel?
This is west of Rock Road. How far south in the Conner Air Force Base?
If you could go back to the aerial photograph. So this is where the subdivision plat is, and this where I'm pointing is all the Air Force Base. And I believe that this area right here maybe is where maybe they do their IED explosion training. So, but I'm not quite for sure. But it looks like if you look closer on the area, it looks like that maybe they do some explosions there. So.
Other questions? Comments from the advisory board?
I believe this was platted earlier as a residential subdivision in 2022, Glenville East Second Edition, because that's what our records show. And we didn't realize it was going to be commercial. So we gave it to our residential subdivision rep, Kevin Reichick. But I think we're going to probably maybe get a hold of Whitney Rusk instead. But I think the comments that Kevin made, he may very well run with it. So, but we didn't catch that. So, because we were looking at our previous plat and it was residential. So it's commercial, so that'll change some things.
Okay. Other comments? All right, we'll call on the applicant or agent. You'll have 10 minutes, and please state your name and address.
Kirk Miller, K.E. Miller Engineering, 117 East Louis. I'm the agent. We are fine with staff comments. There is one question I have for Daniel. Public Works wants a 75-foot radius on the cul-de-sac. I think the subdivision regs say 65. And is that correct?
I'll have to double check. I'll go with whatever the subdivision regs say. Do you know, Chief Timmons, is it?
I don't know on that particular. I just know the fire code requires a 96-foot drivable surface.
We'll get with you on that one. We'll go with whatever the subdivision regs say.
Okay, that would be fine. Otherwise, I think we're fine with staff comments. The Air Force Base comment, what they sent was their letters from the last time this was platted that says, we have the noise issues and that kind of stuff when that was going to be residential, but now it's commercial or commercial industrial type uses. So the owner's not too concerned about the noise issues. And they also had a building height issue of more than 25 feet, and he's fine with that. So I think we're good with everything.
Okay. Stormwater Management has said they had given you 18 comments. Did you got those? And
yeah, it's all approved.
You're all okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's all been approved by Scott. Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone from the public would like to speak on this? Okay. I'll bring it back to the commission. Yes, Mr. Deuel.
Just one more comment as far as the future development of this being right south of McConnell Air Force Base, any development would also have to be approved by the FAA, I would think. Is that correct? In the flight pattern?
So from a zoning standpoint, it's in the Air Force Base Protective Overlay, which just requires a 25-foot height limit. It's not off the end of any of the runways. If it were off one of the end of the runways, there is additional restrictions on types of development that are in the zoning code. But essentially, as long as they follow what is already on the property regarding zoning, it should not require FAA approval. because the AFBPO requires a 25-foot height restriction, so they can't be taller than 25 feet.
I moved to approve for staff comments, and I'm going to make a comment about noise. I've been in the construction business for over 50 years. Years ago, we built a church out east, right by McConnell, and we was out there at the site. Said the jets were going over us, making all kinds of noise. I said, man, it's noisy. The minister looked at me, he said, yeah, but they're ours.
Well, I'll second that.
Sir, if I could, there were several waivers.
Oh, I agreed to 2 waivers. And then also get the distance on the cul-de-sac verified.
So the cul-de-sac requirement for area zone for industrial purposes is 130 feet diameter. And then for suburban streets in a residential area, it's 150 foot diameter. So 130 is what you have on there. So sounds good.
I guess we're good with the 65-foot radius.
And are you okay with waiver 1 of it's the providing a street connection to the empty lots? You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. A motion by Commissioner Johnson, a second by Commissioner Zimmelman. Thank you. And all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Our next case will be subdivision 2025-13. It's a one-step final plat for Sapphire Estates, 3rd edition. And it's also in the county. And let's have the staff report.
Good morning. Craig Sharon, planning staff, here to present the Sapphire Estates 3rd edition. This is a one-step final plat for a 2-lot residential subdivision in the county. Next screen, please. As you can see, it's kind of, the 2 lots are kind of divided up and not really connected, but that is acceptable. Next screen, please. This is subdivision plat. The access to the lots will be off of East 69th Street North with the access easement. There, go through waivers. There is one waiver that will be needed, and that's lot depth foot ratio for lot 1, block A. Go through staff comments. Item A, MABCD, this is within Sedgwick County Rural Water District number 5. Item B, County Stormwater Management has approved the drainage plan. Item C, County Fire, County Service Drive Code needs to be complied to. Item D, County Public Works requests complete access control and location with that access easement along 69th Street and approves of the right-of-way dedication. Item E, planning advised to separate the 2 lots into lots and blocks, access controls and openings to be shown along 69th Street. Some platters text, street dedication, and any setbacks from the pipeline. Item F, their comment should read, what was in the staff report was wrong comment. Looked like it was just a copy of Public Works, but it should read, county surveying, the Kansas gas and electric easement needs located along the east and west lines of Lot 1, Block A, and the east limits of the 10-foot Kansas gas and electric easement needs located along north and south lines of Lot 2. Item G, Evergy has reviewed the plat and will not need to request additional easements at this time. Plat is served by the El Dorado Division, Pedro Dondo Area Design Representative will be the contact. With that, I will stand for questions.
All right. Questions from the commissioners? Seeing none. Comments from the advisory board?
This is served out of our El Dorado office. It's going to be Pedro Maldonado, and he has the other two plots that I think that were associated with this, Sapphire's first and second. So,
Okay. Additional comments? Is the applicant or agent available? Yes, he is. Please state your name and address.
Good morning,
You have
Logan.
10 minutes.
Good morning, Logan Mills, Certified Engineering Design, 1935 West Maple, agent for the applicant. And yeah, we're in agreement with staff comments, so I can answer any questions you guys have.
Okay. Questions from the commissioners? None? Okay, thank you. Is there anyone from the public would like to speak to this? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the subdivision committee.
Move to approve per staff comment, including the waiver.
Okay, second. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Klontz, second by Commissioner Dool. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And let the records show that Commissioner Johnson had to leave, so it passed 5-0. Our last case will be subdivision 25-14, one-step final plat for Sheraton Place. It's within the city. Do we have the staff report?
Morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff here to present Sheridan Place. And this is a one-step final plat for a 3-lot residential subdivision located within the city. Next screen, please. Next screen. There are access controls located along Sheridan Avenue with one opening per proposed lot. There are waivers. Request a waiver of lot depth, lot to depth ratio for lots 1 and 3. Staff comments. City Public Works and Utilities request 10-foot easement along east side of plat running north and south. Water and sewer are available, and existing water meter is on the south side of lot 3. Item B, city stormwater management. I did get revised comment that the drainage plan was submitted on February 26th and approved on February 27th. City Fire approves of the plat. Item D, traffic engineering just advises vicinity map needs to be included on the plat. Item E, standard environmental health comment regarding irrigation wells. Item F, planning vicinity map needs to be included on plat. Master drainage plan text, platters text additions, and change of name to signature blocks. Item G, county surveying, show dimensions to the monuments and label dash line along the north line of lot 1, block 1. And item F, Evergy has reviewed the plat and will not need to request additional easements at this time. And with that, I will stand for questions.
Okay, comments from commissioners or questions? Comments from the advisory board?
Since they're putting in duplexes on a lot that's already existing, we highly recommend that they get in touch with Eric O'Donnell just to make sure that there is power located. Because a lot of times it's assumed in an existing area there is power to serve it. And I can tell you from personal experience, that gets ugly when it isn't. So I highly recommend that.
Thank you. Other comments? All right, do we have the applicant or agent available? Okay. Please state your name and address, and you'll have 10 minutes.
Chad Abbott, Abbott Land Surveying, 631 North Kessler, Wichita, Kansas. And we are in agreement with staff comments. A couple items. I think there was a revised.
Can you use the mouse, please?
The mouse,
Thank you.
yes. Be good. I think there was a revised drawing. This garage right here is going to be removed. This property line goes straight through. So that garage is going to be deconstructed there. And the dimensioning would have been on that also. So we'll definitely check on the power availability there. And other than that, stand for questions.
Okay. Questions from the commissioners? Yes, Phil.
This is just more of a comment. It is TF3. It appears that one of the lots is less than 6,000 square feet, and you realize you need 6,000 square feet to build a duplex, correct? You do have tools to modify.
The existing house is the one that's less than 6,000.
Is that going to, as a single
The
family?
house will stay, the garage will just be deconstructed.
We were kind of doing the math over here and wanted to make sure that we were where we weren't sure if the house was going to stay.
Yeah, and it's kind of a funky layout there because they do want to keep the owner does want to keep the existing house, so we kind of had to make that work.
Then we're all good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Other comments? All right. I'll make a motion. Or does anyone from the public want to speak on this? Sorry. Seeing none, I'll make a motion that we approve this, including the waiver per staff comments.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Zimbelman, a second by Commissioner Mader. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass 5-0. You may all leave. That was a close.
That's impressive.
Wow.